Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to F1 Manager 2022 and a brand new journey beginning today. This is rebuilding Mercedes with the F1 Manager 23 mod from the race department. It's been beautifully put together, putting together as much as we can what F1 Manager 2023 might look like in the first season. Now, of course, it's still with all of the features of F1 Manager 22, but with the updated liveries, updated drivers and teams, all of that good stuff. And fingers crossed, it will be an enjoyable journey. So hopefully you guys are good. And if you want to see more, do leave a like down below in... down below, I should say. Not down below in the comments. But do leave a comment if you do enjoy. So we're going to head into a new career. We don't need to listen to David Croft, but you can see all of the different. You can see all of the different teams in there. We've got Mercedes with their black livery, of course. We've got Red Bull with their marginally updated livery. The big ones to look at, of course, are the likes of Alpine. AlphaTauri with their red bits in there. Williams, fairly similar to last year. Alfa Romeo's got a beautiful car this year, as do Haas. So there you go. And of course, Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg are their drivers. And fingers crossed, we can see some good performances from them this year. But of course, Mercedes have had a very challenging start to 2023, and I thought a fun little mini-series as we're waiting for the real-life new game to come out in August this year would be to try and rebuild Mercedes, try and get Lewis Hamilton his 8th World Championship with the team, and see if we can get to challenging Red Bull towards the end of Season 1. Now, if you guys want to see a Season 2, if we have enough time, then of course we will get there. But yeah, looking forward to getting into it, and hopefully it'll be good. So let's get ourselves into this career mode. We are, of course, Mr. Captain, CaptainGoodspeed. And if you are new around here, make sure you do click that subscribe button for daily sports and retro gaming content, although a lot of it is going to be brand new content over the next few months because there's a lot of big games coming out. It is a little bit laggy on that screen, I've noticed. Hopefully it's all going to sort itself out now as we head into the team for the first time. And here we are in F1 2023. I don't think any of the circuits have been changed around. Obviously, it will be the 2022 race calendar. If we have a little look, just seeing if anything is... No, so Monaco isn't before Spain, for instance. It is just the 2022 calendar, but, you know, we try and replicate it as much as we can in this season with the mod. Lewis Hamilton 92 rated, George Russell 91, Mick Schumacher 76. If we go into Scout the Drivers, you can see the top overall rated driver is Max Verstappen. We've got Fernando Alonso there on a 90 rating as well. Nico Hülkenberg is 80 rated. I think Kevin Magnussen down at 75. Quite harsh on him. But Nico Hülkenberg should at the very least be very racy this season. But you can see all of their teams are in there. Fernando Alonso at Aston Martin. We've got Pierre Gasly at Alpine, for instance. All looking absolutely great. And Nico Hülkenberg in there for the Haas team. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing how we get on and how different it is to potentially our other series that we had, of course, with Aston Martin and then later on with McLaren. And let's see if we can do a good thing and secure at least third or above this season. That's the season objective for Mercedes. And fingers crossed we can do that. If we have a little look at the car analysis, you can see our car is better than the average car on the grid, but you change that to Red Bull, who are the best in all aspects, and they are going to be very, very tough to beat at the start of this season. Ferrari are pretty decent as well. In fact, it's going to be Aston Martin, of course, that are the second best car on the grid. Alfa Romeo looking okay, and the slowest team on the grid is Williams. I'm guessing Haas will potentially have a chance of some points at the start of the year. But yeah, I will do some developments and all of that good stuff, and then I will catch you guys on the flip side for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we will be in at Q1.
Please give us a radio check on the backup radio.
Yeah, all good.
It's green light.
Right, here we go then for qualifying 1. I'm going to send George Russell out into the wilderness. Here we go. And he's off and away on his travels. And keep an eye on him throughout this session. Yeah, I don't know what the lagginess is about. It must be something to do with the mod. Obviously, we had very smooth gameplay for the main career mode, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Not really anything we can do about it. But practice pace was okay. Hamilton slightly quicker than George Russell throughout the 3 sessions. Seems to be fine in this view, which is what's weird. It's when anything else is on the screen. Let's see how George Russell gets on. Let's hop on board with the Brit. There he goes, Mr. Saturday. As he was called by Crofty. Mr. Consistent these days, perhaps. Let's see how he gets on through the first sector. What's that, 27.3? It looks okay. Hamilton coming around the final sector, so it's going to be a little while before we get any sort of comparative time from Lewis Hamilton. What about George Russell? Look, he's coming through this middle sector now. Let's see how he gets on. He's doing okay. Right, he's got this car hooked up. Throws it through the middle sector. Now coming up to the middle sector split. It's in the 108, which is exactly what you want, and now coming onto the back straight before we head on to the final corner. They're neck and neck at the moment, Hamilton and Russell, and it's George Russell who's coming up to the line. What sort of time is he going to put in? It's a 1:31.1. It's a decent time to start us off. Let's join Sir Lewis Hamilton and see how he gets on with his time. Seems to be doing okay through this middle sector. Let's see if he can match George Russell in that middle sector. Comes through and he does go purple. A 40.7. They are absolutely neck and neck through the first 2 sectors of this track. And Lewis Hamilton now is going to come round the final corner. What can he produce? Let's hop on board with him. Here he goes then. And he comes across the line. And it is a 31.197. So close. Yet so far. But 1 and 2 for the moment. Of course, nobody else has set a time yet. We'll see where everybody else ends up. Verstappen and Perez about a half a second ahead. Albon pops into 5th. Bottas 5th now. Hülkenberg slower than him. Tsunoda 7th there. Alonso behind us. That's a decent sort of marker. So there you go, 3rd and 4th. I mean, that would be awesome if we qualified 3rd and 4th. Alonso there in 5th, Leclerc 6th, Stroll 7th, Sainz 8th, Gasly in the top 9 at the moment. Bottom 5, Piastri, Albon, De Vries, Ocon and Logan Sargent currently. Let's see how they get on.
So that's it for the session.
Max Verstappen definitely stuck behind Nick De Vries here, and here they come over the line. Verstappen can't go any quicker. Stroll goes up to P3. Alonso's one to watch, but he's only P8. But there you go. We are through session 1. But going out in session 1, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Nick De Vries, and Logan Sargent. Okay then, so session 2, let's see how we get on in this one. So this time we'll send Hamilton out there. Russell can follow. And hopefully they don't come across any sort of traffic. That's what can really mess you up at this stage. Hamilton quicker than Russell at the moment. And here we go then. He's going to get a nice toe over the line from Nico Hülkenberg. 31.147. Russell goes slightly quicker there. Alonso just a little bit slower. Ocon 4th. Gasly now into 4th. As here comes Charles Leclerc. Can he get himself into the top 3? Leclerc over the line. He's very close, but 4th it is. Sainz over the line. He goes 5th. 6/10 off the pace. Well, Max Verstappen coming round. Surely he's going to go quicker than Russell here. Verstappen over the line. Starting his lap. And Perez is starting his lap as well. Perez over the line, yep. Norris over the line and Bottas 7th and 11th for those two drivers. Here comes Max Verstappen over the line. Oh, and he goes half a second quicker. Well, Red Bull definitely in a league of their own, and Perez goes 2nd. But I think we should be comfortably through to Q3. Let's see where we all end up. Zhou Guanyu first over the line, 12th. Leclerc over the line, stays 6th. Perez goes quickest for now over his teammates. That's a huge gap now, 7/10. Bottas over the line, he goes 12th. What about Hülkenberg? Can he get himself into the top 10? Hülkenberg over the line, stays 15th. Verstappen over the line now, and he stays 2nd, amazingly enough. Norris now in 9th, and Sainz over the line. He goes into 3rd. Ocon, can he get through and knock his teammate out? No, he can't. And Piastri goes 12th. Alonso up to 4th. Stroll over the line. He qualifies 8th in that session. So 5th and 6th, more like where we expected to be at the start of this session, to be fair. And we've got 2 sets of soft tyres to use in session 3, so we'll give ourselves the best possible chance here. So here we go.
Radio check.
Yeah.
Russell's going to go out first, and then Hamilton. Hopefully we won't come across any sort of traffic. I'm trying to keep it off the screen where they are driving. I will try and fix that for the race, but for qualifying we're just going to have to deal with it somewhat. Through the first sector, Russell and Hamilton both slower than Perez. I think Hamilton's being held up slightly. Here comes Russell over the line. What's he going to manage? A 31-1. Same for Hamilton, and actually Perez only fourth. Did someone run wide there? Because Perez ran wide. Sainz currently on pole position. It's going to be Max Verstappen that comes round. Where's he going to pop up to? Pole position, of course, a 1:30.5. Alonso second there. Stroll pops up into sixth. But I expect that we've got a little bit more to offer. So let's shove on our final brand new pair of soft tyres. Let's see how we get on in this lap. Russell's going to go out first. I'm going to give Lewis Hamilton the last man over the line status. And let's watch Sir Lewis then on board with the 7-time world champion. What have we got left in this session? We obviously have the slight advantage of being the only team with brand new tyres in this session. You'd think with the used tyres, Perez will even usurp us, but probably won't usurp his teammate George Russell Green in the first sector. And what about Lewis's first sector? It's looked clean so far, and it is indeed clean. Green in that first sector. So checkered flag is flown. Perez up to third. So Alonso qualifies on the front row, it would appear. Sainz over the line. He's only fourth. Well, what about Gasly? He goes over the line, no better. And Alonso, wow, he got very close to Max Verstappen there, didn't he? Leclerc goes 7th. So we're at least 5th and 6th here. Where can we finish? George Russell is going to go over the line. It's going to be his best lap so far. 1:30.9 puts him P3. Can Lewis Hamilton match or even better that? He comes across the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:30.947, which amazingly only puts him 5th. And it's Max Verstappen that takes pole position at the first race of the season. Fernando Alonso there in 2nd. George Russell in 3rd. Perez 4th. Hamilton only 5th, ahead of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in 6th and 7th. Lance Stroll in 8th. Gasly 9th. And in 10th position we have Lando Norris. Okay. Let's continue on.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Okay, let's see if I can fix this lag then. Okay, after a fresh install, we are back. And we are ready to go for race day. So apologies about that. We have qualified third and fifth. George Russell in P3, Lewis Hamilton in P5. It was a very, very good performance from us in qualifying, you would have to say. I was pretty happy with that. Let's try and get a little bit more money. We'll say Lewis Hamilton will finish on the podium and George Russell will finish in second. We're going to try and get them a good strategy here. I think that's going to be really important. Two-stopper looks to be potentially the way forward. Maybe it's going to be medium, or medium, soft, medium, something like that. Let's see what that looks like. If we were to do that, let's move that forward, and of course, move that back a little bit. That'd be 23 seconds quicker. 24. Yeah, that looks okay, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's go for that. For Lewis Hamilton, yeah, that looks like a good way forward. Maybe we'll start on the softs for George Russell. Try and get into the lead early on in the Grand Prix. And give him 2 medium stints later on in the race. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, right. Little bit more fuel in the car. And a little bit of extra ERS from the start, and without further ado, let's get ourselves into it. Here we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix
tonight, with the drivers now in their grid positions. And here we've got George Russell. They've managed a third-place start for this race, but can they turn it into a win? Looking down the grid, it's Hamilton. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. Will their hard work pay off today? And this is it, the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Here we go then, ready for the lights. And it's lights out.
And
away we go. And George Russell off to a terrific start. Already past Fernando Alonso. Can he get past Max Verstappen into turn 1? He's having a little look as Lewis Hamilton is going around the outside as well. Not quite, but George Russell into second place and Lewis Hamilton right in the slipstream of Fernando Alonso. What a start for both of us here. Let's get a bit of overtake going for George Russell and see if he is going to be able to get past Max Verstappen. What a start that is for George Russell. Lewis Hamilton up into fourth as well, jumping past Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso not off to the best of start, and here comes George Russell then down the inside of Max Verstappen on lap 1, and he is through. That is terrific from George Russell, and he is now
currently P1
up into the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix. What a start for us here.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
Quite unbelievable. And now Lewis Hamilton, I think, let's try and get him past Fernando Alonso here. Still a little bit laggy, but much better than it was during qualifying. And George Russell is leading this Grand Prix. What a start for the Mercedes boys. And they're flying into the final corner. George Russell leads after lap 1. Max Verstappen in second there. Fernando Alonso up in third. Then Lewis Hamilton in P4. Let's hop on board with the 7-time world champion. Is he going to be able to use some overtake to get past Fernando Alonso here? Not necessarily. He's actually dropped back a little bit there to almost a second behind. Let's get him back down to neutral now and settle into this race. Obviously Lewis on the medium tyres. His time will come later in the Grand Prix. He just sort of needs to stay within touch. the start of this race. Let's have a little look at tyre selection. Lewis Hamilton, the only one on medium tyres, believe it or not. So he is going to be slow in this first stint. Maybe needs to use a little bit more of his fuel at the start of this race. But George Russell starting to get towards opening the gap up towards a second to Max Verstappen. Of course, lap 3. And DRS is going to be enabled. That's going to be tough for George Russell to defend. Of course, Max Verstappen was absolutely on it in qualifying.
DRS has been
enabled now. Right, we're going to go down to neutral for George Russell. But he's got 0.7 of a second on Max Verstappen at the minute. Lewis Hamilton defending from Sergio Perez, but Perez, of course, will have DRS here for the first time. And is he going to be able to pass Sir Lewis Hamilton here? Is Lewis going to be able to hold them off? He looks like he's managed to hold them off for now, so this is a good start for Lewis. George Russell pulling away from Max Verstappen. We've got that lag back, but it does feel a lot better than it did before. Seems to only be in certain parts of the racetrack as Max Verstappen has DRS. Is he going to be able to overtake George Russell? Doesn't look like it at the moment.
So, lift and coast.
Save a little bit of fuel with George Russell. We'll do the same with Lewis Hamilton.
Hot and temps, just going to be some lift and coast.
So here comes Max Verstappen. He's going to try and have a look down the inside, I think. Here. No, George Russell managing to stay ahead of Max Verstappen for now. Here he comes with his DRS. Is he going to be able to make that move stick? It looks like he's staying behind for now. So George Russell still in the lead. Lewis Hamilton now drops back down to 4th place, needs to stay with Sergio Perez, really. We'll have DRS here. Is he able to follow nicely here? Looks like he is. That'll do nicely. And Russell is back down to 2nd now. So, just going to have to... Oh, he's gone down the inside again. George Russell. Wow. He's not going to manage to take the next corner ahead, but will have DRS. Is he going to be able to get back past the Red Bull here? As Fernando Alonso's been invited back into the fight. Hamilton stays ahead of the Ferrari for now. Okay, looks like we're going to be settling into a little bit of a rhythm in this Grand Prix, so let's move it forward a bit. Now what we want is Lewis Hamilton staying close to Perez throughout this first stint, and then when the guys come into the pits, that's when Hamilton needs to take advantage. So Hamilton looking after his tyres for now. You can see Hamilton actually probably slightly quicker than Perez at this stage of the race. And Russell staying with Max Verstappen as well. Let's just see how they're getting on. Russell, of course, 2 laps away from coming into the pits, and here he comes. Is he going to get back past Max Verstappen? It looks pretty close. It's a little look round the outside, but doesn't do anything with that.
Such an awesome job, mate.
Looks like Lewis Hamilton has got back past Sergio Perez.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Now, do we try and push Lewis Hamilton a little bit here? Because he's got the tyres to ditch these guys if he wants to. Still got 12 laps to go. Here comes George Russell then. He's going to be coming back into the lead of this race. Pit window's about to open.
Well done.
Now, is Lewis going to have DRS here? No. Let's push forward, see if Lewis can open out a gap. It doesn't look like it, so no point. But I suppose they have managed to get ahead of Sainz here. But Russell now into the pit window. I think it's time to attack on these tyres.
So push hard this lap.
Coming.
Let's see where he can get to. If he pushes hard on the tyres, might be able to stay ahead of Fernando Alonso. Right now it's ahead of Max Verstappen. Let's give it a push.
Let's lift and coast.
Copy.
I think there's been a
Somebody
lockup.
ran wide. I think it was Carlos Sainz. There we go. There's Max Verstappen back through.
Save fuel.
Copy.
Right, let's keep going for another lap or so.
Red Bull moved up.
So this time, George Russell is going to come in. He's going to pop on the medium tyres.
So box, box, box.
Yes, box.
And we've got our first pit stop of the series coming up here. Very, very important. Let's see how he gets on here. Just behind Max Verstappen. So, is anyone going to come into the pits? No, George Russell's in. So he should get a bit of an undercut on these guys. Russell's in, Stroll's in as well. Get out ahead of Stroll. Held up for about a second and a half there, but it'll be okay. Where's he going to come back out? He'd like to come out ahead of this little group involving the Haas cars and Alfa Romeos, but wasn't to be. But important now that he just builds these tyres up.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
As long as Hamilton drops back once again. Now time to just
It's a race
roll it
position
through a
gains
little
for
bit.
Mercedes.
Now, is Russell going to be able to get past these guys, or are they going to hold him up massively here?
Someone spun out.
And Leclerc's spun again. Right, where's Russell going to come through here?
He's locked up and gone straight on.
Is Russell going to manage to come out ahead of Fernando Alonso? He's coming past the pit lane now.
Doing a very good job.
I don't think so. I think he's been held up too much. And look at that. Fernando Alonso comes out ahead of this little group. That's going to be crucial for this Grand Prix. So now a good few seconds behind Fernando, and that gap's only going to increase. Now then, Lewis Hamilton. He's still got around about 7 laps before he's to come in. It's about 4 seconds off Max Verstappen. Let's just keep that going. Remember, Lewis is going on to soft tyres. Fernando Alonso into the lead. He has undercut Max Verstappen in the pit stops. And that could have been George Russell, but he has been well and truly caught out here. Now, I think it's important for George to...
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Just look after his tyres. Yeah, Perez is locked up there. That's going to help Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton out in front and doing a great job, to be honest with you. Alonso and Verstappen fighting. That's going to allow George Russell to hopefully close in as Charles Leclerc pits. He's come out well behind the battle between Sainz and Stroll. So we're in a bit of a lull at this point of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton actually gaining time on the cars behind. Doing a great job. Hamilton able to just keep pushing along here. The thing with Verstappen and Alonso, though, is they will catapult each other towards Lewis just through DRS swapping. Now, we'd like Lewis to come out just ahead of Carlos Sainz, really. We'd love it to be Sergio Perez, but I don't think he will manage that. Right. So, now I'm going to absolutely go for it on this lap. He's coming in. He's going to be putting on the soft tyres. Things going to plan so far.
Did somebody spin out there?
And that was Perez again, spinning out. So Lewis Hamilton should come out ahead of him. So in he comes. What are we looking at? Probably coming out just ahead of Lance Stroll. If things go to plan. Wait, 3.1 seconds. Could have been quicker. Come on. Yeah, he's going to be just behind Stroll. That's alright. 6th place for Lewis Hamilton at the moment. George Russell still in the top 3. Still looking pretty decent. Right. Let's zoom it forward. Now Hamilton won't have long, 8 laps until his pit stop. I think it's important for Lewis to
overtake,
push and get past these.
Understood.
On the hard tyres.
That is fastest lap.
Fastest lap for Lewis Hamilton. Hopefully we'll manage to make it past here.
Oh, they've run wide.
Oh, and Verstappen running wide. That's going to help Fernando Alonso out. Oh, come on, Lewis. Need him past these two pretty quickly.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Let's see what he can manage here. Can he get past the Ferrari at the very least? We have got more yellow flags, and it is one of the McLarens this time. Looks like there's been a crash. Yeah. No safety car though. Yeah, need to get past one of these guys. And I think he did get past Sainz there, so now past Stroll.
Gained for Mercedes.
Yeah, perfect. And now we'll push on. So, this is a very, very important part of the race now for both of our drivers. Lewis Hamilton 10 seconds behind George Russell. George Russell 5 seconds behind the leader Max Verstappen, and second place Fernando Alonso. Now, let's go back to balanced here. George Russell looks like he's going to be the first driver in out of the two. Let's zoom it through. But looking good at the moment, third and fourth.
Who's running wide there?
Who's going to be the big winner out of this? Hamilton still managing to close in on George Russell here. Lewis now getting DRS. I might just have to say, don't fight teammate. Because Lewis is the faster guy at this stage. Get Russell to follow him.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Russell coming in this lap. More, I think that was Fernando Alonso is potentially, yeah, he's spun. So that's not great. So let's head back to the TV camera because Russell is going to be pitting this lap. Hamilton's going to be aggressive now. Where does Russell come back out? Russell out in 3.2. Russell's going to come out behind Sergio Perez. Lots of work to do here. Where will Lewis come out after all is said and done? It's going to be tough to tough to say, really. Here he comes. There's something coming around the final corner. Into the pit lane. He's going to be putting on a brand new set of medium tyres. And he comes. And he's away. Russell puts in a purple middle sector. He comes round the final corner. I think Russell's going to have him here. It's going to be side by side as they come out of the pit lane. But Russell is ahead. And there we go. That's benefited both drivers really. Now they can hopefully push on and help each other get to the podium positions. I might say to Lewis. Well, no, I don't think we should. I don't think either of them are. I don't think anyone's going to be faster than the other. And hopefully we can slingshot each other forward with the DRS. So Lewis Hamilton right behind George Russell. Yeah, this is where I feel we don't need the battling. Fernando Alonso in the pits. Are we going to undercut him?
Your fastest man on track.
Well, going to be pretty close to Fernando Alonso. Oh, well. Hamilton should get past him here. Point, there's George going through. Now then. What tyres has Fernando gone on? He's gone on brand new mediums as well. So you would think this is going to be third and fourth in the bag from the end of the race. Russell really needs to get past Fernando Alonso quickly. Sainz is in the pits now. So there goes Fernando Alonso past Sergio Perez. And here comes George Russell past Sergio Perez, I would imagine, round the outside. Yep, he's through. He should be, yeah.
Well done.
There we go. So, Russell needs to stay with Fernando now.
Mercedes moved up a place.
So, it's all going to be about whether the likes of Verstappen and Leclerc and Stroll, whether they're going to be coming into the pits. Should probably catch Stroll and Leclerc. We're not going to catch Verstappen. Verstappen continues on another lap. I think Verstappen is staying out till the end. So Hamilton now got to try and make it past Sergio Perez. Should manage it along the DRS straight. Oh, Leclerc's in. Right, so Leclerc's going to end up behind us now. Oh, Perez is in as well.
And there's the fastest.
There we go.
Leclerc in the pit lane now. Perez in the pit lane.
So, it's all down to Lance Stroll now and Max Verstappen, who are both on hard tyres, but Stroll on very old ones, and that is going to be very difficult. Russell makes light work of him. I think Hamilton will as well.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
And I tell you what, 20 seconds to gain on Max Verstappen don't seem that bad, really. I think we can do this. Working with Fernando Alonso as well. I think we need to push the engine of
Reduce
Russell a little bit.
Yeah, copy.
And think about less lifting coast.
So Hamilton will be easily past Stroll. Stroll's in the pits, in fact.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Now then. So, oh, Verstappen's in. Verstappen's in. Where's he going to come out?
They've moved up a place.
Oh, he's going to be well behind, surely. Right, George Russell and Fernando Alonso past the pit lane. I think Hamilton's going to be ahead of him as well. Unbelievable. Well, Max Verstappen, what on earth has he done here? He has gone onto soft tyres, but I don't think they're going to be fresh enough for long enough. And already about as worn as Lewis Hamilton's mediums, certainly as Fernando Alonso's mediums. Right behind this pack now. He needs to make the overtakes happen. Lewis Hamilton is first on that list. Straight away Verstappen within DRS range. He pulls to the inside. Is he going to have a look at the inside of Lewis Hamilton? He does. Well, that was pretty crazy from Lewis Hamilton. Meanwhile, George Russell now into the lead of this Grand Prix. He's past Fernando Alonso. And this is going to be an interesting fight towards the end of the Grand Prix now. Hamilton back past Verstappen, and this is going to be a proper four-way fight for this victory here, because Hamilton's going to be able to follow Verstappen all the way up to the back of Alonso and Russell. It might be that Lewis loses out of everybody. But he looks like he's in a pretty good position, to be fair. And if there was to be any incidents, Hamilton's in the best place to take advantage of that. Just outside the 1 second window. Got 8 laps to go here. Max Verstappen leads the Grand Prix. George Russell in second. Fernando Alonso in third.
Sounds like a spin.
Oh, Perez has spun again. Now then, can George Russell win this race? We will hop back on board for the last sort of 3 laps. I feel like there's no point at this stage, when it's going to be so back and forth.
Was that a lock up on the track?
Albon looks up. Alonso now dropping off. So look at tyres. Alonso's tyres are looking the best of anybody's, which gives him a distinct advantage.
So marginal for fuel.
Copy.
Russell's going to have to come back on fuel. Hamilton.
And save fuel.
Yep.
Can he now push? Hamilton definitely has dropped off now. So as soon as lap 56 starts, we will watch the end of this. Russell might have to conserve for the next lap or so. Got DRS here.
More lift and coast.
Copy.
Yeah, manages to get past the Haas, I think, or is it AlphaTauri? Yeah, well, it's going to be Fernando Alonso versus Max Verstappen, I think. I think Russell's got enough.
Let's lift and coast.
Copy.
I think Lewis has got enough either.
And think about increasing the lift and coast just a little.
Here we go then, on to the final 2 laps. Max Verstappen leads. We've got Fernando Alonso going down the inside here of turn 1. Manages to make the move stick. So Fernando's into the lead. He's got DRS now as they head up towards turn 4. George Russell is going to conserve again. And you can see George Russell now dropping off the back of that group. It is going to be so close, this battle. Verstappen on the soft tyres, 33%. Look at Alonso's tyres, 46%. He has looked after them until the very last moment here. And here he goes again, Max Verstappen. He's got DRS. He's in the quicker car. He's going to go down the inside of Fernando Alonso here. Very, very good from Max Verstappen. He's back into the lead. Somebody has spun. And it's Lance Stroll.
We got a yellow at 15.
And I think, well, he will continue on. Disappointing day for Lance Stroll, finishing 8th when his teammate is going to go into the final lap of the race in 2nd place, still with a great chance of victory. Here he comes then, Fernando Alonso, round the outside of Max Verstappen. And he is back into the lead. Verstappen will have DRS as they head up towards turn 4. Is he going to retake the lead into turn 4? Alonso defends, but Verstappen there on the inside. And what a brilliant overtake this is going to be from Max Verstappen. He is through. So Fernando Alonso has one more chance. He's got the next DRS zone. Is he going to be able to make that move stick, or is Max Verstappen going to win the first Grand Prix of the season? But if this is anything to go by, we are going to be in for an exciting season. Max Verstappen ahead, but Alonso has DRS. This is his last chance to win this Grand Prix. He pulls to the outside. Is he going to run out of straight? He's going to fly around the outside. This is huge. That's going to turn into the inside line. Has Alonso got enough here? He might well do. He goes down the inside. And they're going to be side by side as they come up towards the final corner. Alonso in prime position here. He's going to go down the inside and he's going to have DRS. Somebody's locked up. Fernando Alonso, is he going to do it? He's got DRS up to the line. But it's Max Verstappen that wins.
Is that a lockout?
And Fernando Alonso, George Russell, sorry, comes across the line in third. Lewis Hamilton finishes fourth. And that's a decent day for us, a decent haul of points. We know we're not where we want to be with the car, but on a different day, we may well have managed to win that race. Carlos Sainz comes over the line, long way back for Ferrari in fifth. Leclerc finishes in sixth. Perez will be very disappointed with seventh, as will Stroll with P8. Bottas finishes in the points, or possibly will he manage to finish in the points? He's got two Alpines right in his gearbox. So Bottas coming round now. Is he going to manage to get 2 points for Alfa Romeo? And Pierre Gasly, let's see. Pierre Gasly may well manage to nip him to the line here. DRS open. Don't think he's quite got enough. Bottas finishes 9th, Gasly's 10th, and Ocon 11th. Hulkenberg finishes ahead of his teammate in 12th, and Magnussen finishes 13th. Zhou Guan Yu 14th, and then Norris and Piastri 15th and 16th, followed by the 2 AlphaTauris and the 2 Williams cars. But what a Bahrain Grand Prix that was.
George Russell had a decent race here. This isn't a bad result at all. Imagine how chuffed they must be. A podium is a real feat, and it's been accomplished in style. And right now, it's the British driver who proudly takes his place on the podium. And after all that hard work, surely it's time for them to enjoy this moment. There's no doubt that Mercedes have a lot of potential. Now they need to figure out how to make it work for them.
There's no rest for F1 teams. Let's hope their hard work can get them closer to exceeding expectations in the next race.
At the end of the weekend, it's second place in the constructor standings for them.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Well, there we go then. Very eventful race. Fastest lap for Max Verstappen in the end. He takes the championship lead, of course. Red Bull take the lead in the constructors, but we can be happy to come out in second place on 27 points. Aston Martin third in 22. I think it's going to be an interesting four-way battle this season. Lewis Hamilton gets some decent points there. Nothing for Mick Schumacher, of course. And there we go then. That is going to be where this first episode ends. Next time out, we are going to be in Jeddah, but let me know if you enjoyed that in the comment section below. Leave a like as well if you have enjoyed. It's really important on these part ones that we give the series a bit of a push so that you can find more people just like yourself that enjoy the content. If you have enjoyed that, then make sure you subscribe for daily sports and retro gaming content, and plenty of daily F1 Manager 2023 content when that comes out at the end of August, as well as F1 23 as well on the 16th of June. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.